So let me introduce our next speaker, Zhao Ren. She will talk about computer audition in digital health.
Okay, after all of the prior above presentations about your very insight perspectives of speech pathology, I'd like to give a more general perspectives on computer audition in digital health. As we know, digital health is a combination, it's an interdisciplinary field of digital technology and healthcare. Traditionally, there are many types of data, such as medical imaging, biosignals, and genomics. Audio signals have already been used for many pathology and medical applications in the recent years, as we know the speech pathology. There are also many other audio sounds from our body, such as our voice, such as laughing and coughing. And there are also snoring and heartbeat and breathing. Human listening about our body sounds are usually need professional clinicians, such as oscillation of our heart sounds. And it's very expensive to hire so many professional clinicians. Therefore, computer audition is more easy to use and cheap. It could also provide non-invasive diagnosis, such as the localization of our snoring. Traditionally, it uses a camera to be put inside our mouth to detect the snoring, but snoring sound could be potential to localize the snore as well. It could be also more environmental friendly, like we said yesterday for the COVID detection. So whether sound is a new biomarker, let's see the next. There are many real world applications of computer audition. Let's see from diagnosis and treatment. In general, there are 3 disorder types: psychological disorders containing many emotion-related disorders, such as depression, bipolar disorder, and there are also cognitive disorders, such as dementia. Neurological disorders consist of autism spectrum disorder, and many of us are also working on neurodegenerative disorders such as Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. Physiological disorders, Benz is also working on the oral cancer speech evaluation, and there are also cardiovascular disorders, sleep apnea, and respiratory diseases. Next, let's see what real-world applications we can use speech and voice to do diagnosis for all of these disorders. With speech and voice, we can diagnose several types of psychological and neurological disorders. With neural networks fed with the input of audio signals, we can diagnose depression or bipolar disorder by evaluating the mania level, and autism and cognitive disorder to detect whether a person has dementia, and Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's disease. Apart from psychological disorder and neurological disorder, we can also use voice and body sounds to detect physiological disorders. For example, in this figure, the snoring local position can be localized from the snoring sound. There are four major locations here, the VOTE, to detect. Therefore, we can detect sleep apnea. From the heart sounds, we can also evaluate the severe level of cardiovascular disorders, such as we can know whether the sound is normal or abnormal, and even know the sound is mild or severe when the sound is abnormal. From respiratory sounds, it could be also understood as our lung sounds. We can also listen to the sound and know whether the sound has crackle and wheeze. In the recent 2 years, there are also several research to detect COVID from respiratory sounds, such as from coughing sounds. Then we can listen to coughing sounds. Oh, it's yeah. Okay, it doesn't work. Okay, let's skip this slide. I don't know why. Okay. For treatment and therapy, we can also use voice and sound to evaluate whether the speech is healthy or it has the person has oral cancer surgery. Therefore, we can also further to give the practice for the patients with the oral cancer surgery, oral surgery. And music can be also used for therapy, especially for the psychological disorders such as depression. We can use music retrieval or music generation to give music to the patients. For autism, several computer games were developed to teach the children to learn how to express their emotions. In the future, there are several perspectives and opportunities for us to explore how to improve the computer audition in healthcare. The first is multiple modalities. Apart from audio, image, and other data modalities can also provide us complementary information. Therefore, we will have better performance and better HCI applications. For example, the left figure is automatic assistant to give dialogue with the patients with depression from the image, audio, and text. And there are also Xeno robots here to teach the children for learning emotion expression from the image and audio, and it can also provide the behavior of expressing different emotions. With the development of Internet of Things, like the mobile devices and wearable devices, it's also more potential to apply many of our technologies to mobile devices and wearable devices in mobile health. Like Thomas presented his very fancy app in this morning. And there are also many other applications such as emotion recognition, acoustic scene detection, and diet of our in our daily life, like detecting what we eat every day and how many energy we have. And in smart home, we can use embedded devices to detect fall down for elder people. Therefore, we can give in-time help for them. And screaming detection can help us to promise our safety at home or at public places. Apart from the opportunities, there are also many challenges in the future for us to address. The first I'd like to introduce is the efficiency and the trustworthy from mainframe area to Internet of Things. We used PC and laptop and the workstation to train deep neural networks. And in recent years, edge devices are very popular for people to use. However, edge devices don't have very good GPUs. Therefore, whether there will be a bottleneck from edge devices for the deep learning neural networks. So how we will address this problem? This will be very interesting to consider. The second is the trustworthy. For both clinicians and patients, we have, as our perspectives of computer science scientists, we would like to provide the trustworthy AI for clinicians and patients. And clinicians also want to know why is this prediction and also patients. So in our methods, we provided prototypes. They can be learned or they can be also searched from the original audio samples to explain why is this prediction. And we may also have another question, why is not another prediction? We can use criticisms to generate, for example, the outliers, criticism audio samples from the whole data set. And what will be the prediction if there's any changes? Then there are several methods to be used, such as post hoc explanations like LIME and SHARP. How is the prediction made? We may implement transparent models such as decision tree. There are also many other methods to answer all of these questions. I think this technology is still ongoing. What will be the best explanations for clinicians and patients? We still need to explore. And there are also some other possible explanations, such as how can we hear the model, the AI sonification may provide us a solution. It means that we can convert the explanations to audio, or we directly generate acoustic explanations for the AI models. Then it's the security and the privacy. Deep learning models have been shown they are very vulnerable to, for example, adversarial attacks. This figure shows the bottom one is the real log-mail spectrogram, which is correctly predicted by a model to the anger class with a very high probability. But after adding a very minimal adversarial noise, we have the adversarial log-mail spectrogram. However, the model predicted the adversarial data into happiness with super high probability. So how to project the model to the adversarial attacks? It will be very interesting to be explored. There are also some other attack types such as spoofing attack. And for data protection, according to many laws such as GDPR, we need to protect users' data and their rights. For example, there are some current technologies like federated learning to protect users' data privacy. In the future, we also hope to provide people human-centered digital health. Previously, especially in, for example, in emotion, in many diagnoses of diseases, we provide subject-independent experiments. But in the future, whether it's possible to use speaker-dependent experiments, for example, for users, they want to have their personalized healthcare service. So this could be considered, such as the emotional voice assistant and music recommendation. And finally, it's the fairness and ethics. For fairness AI, we hope the model will be diverse in both people, like AI developers and participants in diverse cultures, ages, and genders. And the model could be also validated on patients from different countries and religions. And for ethical AI, we have many applications. For example, the applications to teach children how to express their emotions. But we also want to know how people's feeling for the AI model, because for example, the Xeno robot, it can provide, it's more patient, it can provide very good service for children. But human has inspiration, human has is always thinking. So whether all these applications will replace our human interaction or it will help our life to make our life better. So this will be a very open question to be considered. Thank you very much for your attention. Actually, finally, I'd like to let me have a look whether there is, oh, sorry. I want to look for the, yeah, this is an audio of sonification. No, it doesn't work. Okay.